Hello, this is our Constraining Freedom debate. My name is Caitlin,
Michelle?
and today I'm agreeing with the statement that free people should not be required to give up liberty in order to live in a society.
And I'm disagreeing.
To start off our debate, I agree that free people should not be required to give up liberty in order to live in a society. Many a time in history we have seen the oppression of a higher power destroy the commonwealth of the people. I believe that in order to live in a society and for it to be able to function harmoniously and efficiently, we should be given the freedom to do what we want when we want. By my definition of liberty, liberty is the idea that power is illustrated every time we do something. Whether we think or move, that feeling of that our mental preference leads to action provides a simple instance of power. The maltreatment of that power of will is the violation of human nature, and the action as taken as a result is required. Take, for example, King Louis in the French Revolution. He was clearly unqualified to run a country, and run it with a monarchy at that. It is unfair to crown a ruler based on blood, because if there was bloodshed, the selfishness of the king in the monarchy left the lives of the people in shambles. The country was in chaos, and the people had absolutely no say in what was happening, and the solution could be made, but they had to give up their liberty. With the prospect of free people not having to give up their liberty, the combined efforts of the people could have further advanced their society for the better. The Britannica even historically named King Louis's reign as the Reign of Terror. Living in a society with no voice, power, or free will is not living at all.
I see your points, but I think I still have to disagree. I think people should be required to give up liberty in order to live in a society. My definition of liberty is that liberty allows you to make your own choices with your life, property, business, and etc. So when liberty is just handed to the people, things get wild, as seen in the French Revolution. It was during the Reign of Terror that was marked by mass executions of enemies of the revolution. The death toll ranged in tens of thousands, with 16,584 executed by the guillotine and another 25,000 across France. The common people saw through their eyes that their own neighbors were villains, so they took it upon themselves to go on a killing streak and kill anyone who may, and I say may by the slightest chance that they would do this, but in the far near future, kill them first. So it became in the French Revolution an almost game for survival. Neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend. Even now, there are many problems in today's society having to do with revolutions. For example, the situation does not look good in Venezuela. According to CNN news article, inflation topped 56% last year. Crime rates are high. Food and goods shortages have left store shelves bare. There is this positive side, though, that people are looking for a change. But the fact that there are many crime rates, it shows that people can handle change without a fair government. And another place of many revolutions at the moment is Ukraine. Ukraine has, according to an article by The Guardian, has some mysterious groups that are scared of the police, so they've hired thugs to become involved, making the situation worse.
You bring up a very interesting point. However, you have to think about why they were so paranoid in the first place, taking your example from the French Revolution. Do you really think it was just out of thin air that they begun to think bloodshed was the answer to everything? No, of course not. They never got the chance to have free will to do whatever they want when they want it. That was right because only the foolish monarchs who caused the entire outbreak of the French Revolution clearly did not know how to handle having that freedom and responsibility. Who else wouldn't take that into their own hands? Women led delegation to the king in Versailles demanding their bread after King Louis lost all of the money in France, leaving France bankrupt and having the bread prices skyrocket. After the scuffles, they were fobbed off by the king, so the king did not even care. I'm not advocating for a completely free and loose society, but I believe that the people who live in a society should live in a society without having to give up liberty. That there would be harmonious function within the people, because they all have one purpose, to thrive and be successful.
But there are other examples than that. Like, there was a Lithuanian campaign for national independence back in 1988. According to an article by nvdatabase.swarthmart.edu, the Soviet Union publicly stated that Lithuania had joined the USSR willingly, although secret protocols of the pact disputed this. This makes me wonder how we are society as a whole. If we all have the right of liberty to do what's best for us, then when does the line cross where we start to affect people of a nation or as a whole country? Indonesia had a national revolution in 1945. In October, there were major violence erupted in Serbia and East Java, following a major military disaster for the British in which their commander and hundreds of troops were killed. The British launched a tough counterattack. According to the website, the Battle of Serbia cost thousands of lives and was the bloody single engagement of the struggle for independence. It forced the Allies to come to terms with the Republic.
The Lithuanian independence movement is a good example of the thinking that people should give up liberty. However, I do not completely agree with that interpretation of that information. You still have to think about the government's role in the war. People in government are not under the power to use free will. Instead, they are pressured by the constraints of their government. Take, for example, the effect of the Chinese Civil War. This backs up the need for the liberty in a society. Mao Zedong's harsh rule of the people spurred war between loyals and commoners. It is because of such stark difference, because having power to do whatever you want and being a prisoner to that power. The Bosnian War of Independence also impacted the justification that liberty should not be required. The ethnic cleansing that went on in the Bosnian War was a result of a society not having liberty to work equally with each other, leading to the thinking of one party that was better than the other. A society in which citizens have to give up liberty is not a society, it's tyranny.
It's also evident that when people are handed just liberty out of nowhere, things get wild. Is like in the French Revolution again, is even in the home of the king and queen. When we watched the video, Marie Antoinette had a mindset that since she was queen, she could spend the country's money on her outstanding jewelry. Since liberty was handed to her, she had the privilege to make her own choices. How does that portray the country? I believe her acting this way made the country seem troubled and unorganized. Her gaining this jewelry made her life better, but only threatened the lives of the poor. So for all these reasons, I believe that people should be required to give up liberty in order to live in a society.
I think we brought up some very interesting points, and I think the answer is up to you guys. What do you guys think? Should liberty be given up in order to live in a society?
Yay!
Thank you!